All right, here we are again.
Yes.
Episode 9.
Episode 9. FOMO versus JOMO. I'm missing out. I'm missing out.
I'm excited to talk about this.
I'm so excited because it's so perfect because we're so opposite. So we each are going to have examples.
Yes, very good examples.
Mhm.
So what is FOMO?
Fear of missing out. Okay, and I know you suffer from this a lot.
Right?
No. That was me. I have to say it's shifted a bit over the years, but in general, that's me to a T.
So what is FOMO?
It's this for me, what it feels like. I'll describe what it feels like for me is like I have my plan, I have my schedule, and then I hear about an open mic. I like to sing and play guitar, and I hear there's an open mic Wednesday night. And what if I don't go? I want to go. I want to play. I want to see the other people. What if they have this amazing night and I miss it? I don't want to miss it. And it's just fun. Why can't I do that? You can't relate to anything.
I cannot relate to that.
Can't to anything coming out of my mouth right now. Your face, like your eyebrows could not furrow anymore. That's hysterical. But that's how it's been for me for a long time. And where I'll have my schedule for the week and I'll have some days built in to get other things done, like take care of my life and everything. And something else comes along and I almost feel like a victim. Not really, but just like, well, I don't have any control. I have to go to this. If I don't go, that's what comes up. If I don't go, I'm going to miss out on an amazing time. Maybe an amazing person might be there. I have a new friend to make. The extrovert in me takes over and makes all the decisions. That is FOMO for me.
Okay. And I get it, right? I get that we are socially connected, right?
Mm-hmm.
That there is a strong desire, that there's safety in numbers, there's safety in connection.
Mm-hmm.
And so FOMO is about always making that connection.
Mm-hmm.
What's the downside?
Exhaustion. For me, it's exhaustion. It is neglect of other things I really have to take care of, like cleaning, paying bills, dealing with certain things, or maintaining other connections with people and friends. There's a lot of downside if it's too frequent. If it's, once in a while, but if that's what's ruling my schedule, a lot of things get lost in the wayside for me. And I end up getting really tired. We talked about that during the I'm tired episode. And it's, I really have joked that I want to change my name to Joy Chaser because it's like I want to do all the fun things. And there's so many amazing parts of life and I want them all. But I'm also almost 60 and I can't do what I did when I was in my 20s, And so it's the balance eludes me sometimes and it takes its toll. And I know you know this. You witness it on a weekly basis with me.
Yes, when I can't get into your schedule for dinner, even though we need to, it's okay. No, and so So biologically, though, we're made to have connections,
right?
And FOMO is anxiety around not constantly having those connections, right?
Yes.
And on the other side, I'm JOMO, right?
Yes, you are.
Right.
What is April? Sure. What is JOMO, April?
It's the joy of missing out.
I love that so much. And the minute I heard that, I'm like, April Boykin.
That is me.
Yeah.
That is me.
Yeah. And what does it feel like to you? Like, I want you to describe like when that comes up.
Okay. So I do want to say that JOMO can be a very nice balanced place, but it can also be a destructive place because just like FOMO, which can lead to avoidance of tasks, avoidance of things, so can JOMO. So joy of missing out.
I want to know what it feels like for you.
For me.
Like the times when I have said, okay, hey, we're getting together at 7 o'clock and you just laugh at me. But in general, hey, we're going to do this really fun thing. These people are going to be there. These people are going to be there. What happens to you when I present that to you?
You mean like last night? So so it was a lovely text that you sent and said, hey, we're all going to this open mic or whatever you were singing.
A little mini gig.
Your little mini gig.
Right.
And there was a moment where I thought, oh, I could do that. I know these people will be there. It would feel nice to connect with each other.
Yeah.
And so I entertained it. And then in my brain, I do this thing where I say, what needs to be in place for that still to be good on Saturday night? because between Friday when you invited me
Yeah.
and Saturday, I needed to have consistency. And so if any of these things changed,
Oh, I
then
did not know that.
Mm.
Sorry, I got a little loud there.
No, that's okay.
Say what needs to stay consistent.
Well, I
How did I not
picked
know
up a
that?
little cold. And
Okay,
so I needed
yes.
to make sure that my body physically, felt okay,
Mm-hmm.
that I had given myself enough time to rest.
Okay, okay.
Right. And even if I
Yeah.
wasn't sick, it would still be my priority
Right.
on a Saturday is rest,
Mhm,
is
mhm.
restoring my body. Did I get to, take a walk? Did I get to do
Right.
things to restore me? Because going out isn't going to restore me.
You're an introvert.
I'm an introvert.
Right.
I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to feel good. And then about an hour and a half in, I'm going to be like, how much longer do I have to
Yes,
stay?
that is you. Yeah.
That is me. And so,
Yeah.
so I have those criteria.
Interesting.
And it took me a long time to get to that place because
Of what? A place of
of setting up criteria for
recognizing.
myself.
Okay. Okay.
What would make me go and what would make me stay?
Mm-hmm.
Because it used to be that I would just say yes and not go,
Yes.
or I would say no and not go.
Mm-hmm.
But I have found that the fringe side of JOMO, the side that is isolating, the side that is, well, I'm safer alone,
Mm-hmm.
that isn't healthy because it does keep me from being connected to people,
Right.
is also going to isolate me. And that tends to come when I'm burned out. It tends to come when I haven't taken care of myself in other ways. And so the opposite of, the good side of JOMO is the avoidant side.
Mhm.
And I will do that all day long. I can avoid the world and, stay in my house, stay in my kitchen, stay in my bed, whatever,
Right.
whatever that
It's
looks
funny
like.
that both the FOMO and the JOMO have the same result. It's just different approaches to it. That's so interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And there is a joy on missing out.
Mhm.
When I think about somebody, you having a great experience, I don't have any regret that I'm not doing it. So
Mhm.
not going, I have had a lifetime of not going to events and seeing people having a good time. And it never occurred to me to have regret around that.
Wow.
And so I'm that's just not how I'm wired. I look at it and say, "Oh, I'm so glad you had that
Right. I'm happy for
experience.
you.
I'm happy
Yeah.
for you to have that experience."
Yeah.
And I suppose if somebody won the lottery or something like that, got a
Yeah.
free concert ticket to something I was dying to see, perhaps I could have.
Yeah.
But I'm okay seeing other people's
Mhm.
joy.
And maybe it's a little bit of a misnomer, is that the right word? Of the joy of missing out. You don't feel like you're missing out.
I don't feel like I'm missing out.
So that's part of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't feel like I'm missing out, and I don't.
Because again, it's not going to charge your battery.
It isn't.
To be there, but it's the extremes for both of these. That's when it becomes problematic.
We know that social media greatly impacts this FOMO and JOMO, but more FOMO because everybody puts their A side on, right? Everybody is presenting all the good things that they do, not that they were in the tub at 9:30, taking an Epsom salt bath.
Yeah.
They put all the fun adventure.
Mhm.
And for people who have FOMO, right?
Like, I'm sorry,
No, go
I'm
ahead.
going to jump in that like now there's like events pages like on Facebook or whatever, right? I take them as personal invitations. I do like, okay, there's this event Wednesday night and it goes on my schedule. Or some of the things I go to, I've mentioned this to you before, are once a month. Like my little songwriter group is the second Thursday of every month. So I don't want to miss that because it's when we get together, whatever. But then something pops up for the Monday night. And, and I'm training for the swim race and I need to swim 5 days a week after work. It gets busy and it's like a personal invitation through social media. That's the problem. It's not like, hey, you want to go? It's that it is there for me for the taking.
If you want me to go somewhere, you got to show up with a handwritten invitation.
I know. It's so different.
So
yeah.
So let's talk about what's going on in the brain and in the body, right? It is two sides of the same coin, right? And it is all about belonging and connection and where we feel safe.
Yes.
And if I'm
Yeah.
missing out, my amygdala registers that as a threat to my safety.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, right, so FOMO believes it's a threat to safety if I'm not included. And for me, I feel safer, right, when I'm not spending my energy.
You're not going to be drained.
I'm not going to be
And I
drained.
just kind of thought this. I didn't have a ton of friends growing up. And I always just had this longing, you know, of longing of belonging. And, you know, I always think it's so hard for kids nowadays who are in this situation where they don't have a lot of friends and they're seeing all these people, all these things they're doing, they're missing out on. But I wonder if that fueled it for me. Partially because I'm an extrovert, obviously. I just love being around people. That energizes me. But also, even though that was so long ago, there's still something, if people want to be around me, I'm just a little bit like, really? Oh, that's amazing. And making new friendships is something that I longed for so long. And so I think that informs the decision-making process a little bit still.
Yeah.
I don't know if I thought about that much, but as you're saying that, like you're seeking safety, I just felt safer if I could have some connections. So, you know, interesting.
So I think we almost need to make up a middle ground word.
Yeah.
And there's really not one. But it's about having the autonomy to choose. What is it that I'm choosing? Am I choosing to go out because if I don't go out, then people won't love me and I won't have connection?
Yeah.
Or am I going out because it fills a desire that I have? It makes sense, right? Is staying home avoiding, or because I'm in a place where
This
I
is
want
what I need
to,
right now.
Yeah, what I need. I want to rest and restore, right? And so it is really looking at the motivation behind the decision.
Yeah.
And so that's really what that middle ground is, because missing out is negative, right?
Right.
It's negative and doesn't need to be.
No.
Right?
Yeah. So we could coin a term and it'll sweep the nation.
I know.
No, it would be really interesting to think about. And also the fear part, you know, and I was just thinking, like, the two of us have both traveled a little bit closer to the center than we used to be, both of us. I'm a little bit more like, I love my alone time. So I don't necessarily have a fear of the missing out, but it's a little bit more like, oh, that's fun and that's fun. The fear was more realistic in the past, and I recharge my batteries more if I do have some times where I'm just home. And I sensed you have gone more toward the center of that, where you're like, oh, this was really nice to connect. This was really nice to be out, you know, and it's possible to change. And it's all in the quest and finding the balance where the safety doesn't need the same things, maybe you know?
I think so. And just like so many of us have to schedule things in, where you have to schedule in downtime.
Yes.
I have to schedule in
uptime,
out of the house time, right? And part of it is why I travel, right? I get a whole lot of that time when I'm traveling with friends or traveling with people.
Yeah.
And then I come home and I want to stay low key for a while to recover,
which is okay,
which is perfectly okay. Yes. But it's finding our own balance in that.
Well, and it's interesting, and I had mentioned in another episode that 6 months I took and I was traveling by myself, solo. Very few times was I really alone, because I would meet people, talk to everybody. I'd get invited to lunches, to dinners. I was having these adventures and I would go, but I'd meet people on the bus or the train. It was unbelievable. And there were times I'm like, I just need to be left alone. I need no one to talk to me right now, which is just crazy when I say that out loud. But like, someone, how would you do that at 6 months alone? And I'd be like, what do you?
You were never alone.
I wasn't alone. And then I'm like, oh, but I traveled alone. But I'd be on a plane alone. And there are times where I'm like, I just need to have this flight where no one talks to me. Like that's starting to poke through. But I did not view that as I was traveling alone at all. Isn't that interesting?
You don't make eye contact. That's how people leave you alone.
I know, and I don't know how to necessarily do that. And I'm like, we're on this plane together. Isn't this amazing? Look at this beautiful life. We're sharing this chat. I have issues.
No,
I
it's
just have so much
fabulous.
joy. I have so much joy. Maybe that's not the joy of missing out. Maybe it's or I don't know. I'm gonna mess this up, but like the joy of connection, the joy of whatever goes right. I don't know. I'm working on it. I'm gonna come up with a term.
I know, we'll come up with the term.
Yes.
So, as you mentioned, heading towards middle, that's really where we have to go with this.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first thing is looking again at the intention.
Yes.
Am I scheduling this because I'm afraid I'll be rejected, disconnected?
Right.
I will feel unsafe because I'm
Why
not.
am I saying yes?
Yeah.
Just why am I saying yes right now? Yes.
Yes.
Same as why am I saying no?
Correct.
Yeah. And finding the true answer to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps.
And so when you do that, the best way to get that answer is to be regulated.
Mm-hmm. Regulate before you ask the question.
Yes.
Don't you think? Like work on that first and then say, okay, let's dial in. Yes, you're right. I don't do that often.
Well, I think a lot of us don't do
Yeah.
that often, or we don't even recognize that having that conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and it is really important when we put that pressure on ourselves to do something or not to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Either way,
Right.
we're having limiting beliefs. If I
Yes.
always have to or I never will, we are limiting ourselves. And you know what? Maybe I am going to want to go and sing karaoke. I did. I sang karaoke in Japan, so I have accomplished that once in my
Very
lifetime.
proud of you.
Yeah, I know. So it's, if you always limit based on what you've always done or what you expect yourself to do, so it does come back to regulating yourself. So I'm going to teach something called a Wayne Cook.
Okay.
And so Wayne Cook is a little complicated, but what it does is it helps you when you're scrambled. And I think a lot of times when I can't get an answer to something, it's because my energy feels scrambled. So if the first thing you do is take a moment and regulate yourself, right, before you begin exploring, why am I really wanting to do this?
Yeah.
Right? Because sometimes it's a trade-off, right? If I'm going to go out on Saturday night, then I need to adjust my rest and make sure I can do it on Sunday. So here's the Wayne Cook is a really good one. So what you do is you cross your ankles. It doesn't matter which ankle goes over the top.
Okay.
And then you turn your thumbs upside down. Now, we've all done this as little kids.
Turn your thumbs upside down like you're...
So thumbs are down towards
Pointing the
your
ground.
knees.
Okay.
And then cross one over the other.
Cross a hand over the other.
One hand over the other, and
Okay.
then loop them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can stop right there, just settle in, or you can pull it up.
Okay.
Right? Whatever feels better. For some people, this really feels good.
Okay.
I like to kind of leave mine
On your lap?
down in my lap.
Okay.
This is an exercise. Again, it's called a Wayne Cook. Eat an energy medicine, brain gym activities, lots of different Psych K. They all use this.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you're going to do is you're going to soften your eyes. You can close them or go inside. And you're going to take a big breath in. And sigh it out. And one more time. And you can do one more. And then start with your ankles, unwrap them and cross the other way.
Okay.
And then undo your hands, keep thumbs down and go the other way.
Cross them over the opposite way.
Right.
Okay.
And again, you can leave them hooked
I'm just
like
resting
that.
them on my lap. I
Yes.
like that. Okay.
Leave them or pull them up to your
Or you
chest.
can curl them
You
up
can curl
toward
them
your
up
chest.
to your chest.
Yeah, I'm going to leave them on my lap.
So,
Okay.
and just take a breath. And so what this Wayne Cook exercise does is integrates right and left hemisphere of the brain. It helps you think your way out of a paper bag. It helps get your body to sync
You
up
feel that.
energies.
I feel
know,
that
it's-
difference.
Yes.
I love how that feels.
When I first learned this exercise, I hated it. It was, and it's really because my body needed it. And so my body was resistant, fighting it.
Yeah.
And so there's some different variations. You can find them on YouTube. But what I have found is now if I'm feeling really stressed or angry about something or I'm hurt about something,
Yeah.
I'll just go into this pose and just sit there.
And you could even be in
until
a
it
meeting and no
passes.
one's really going to question it.
Nobody's
Isn't that
even going to
interesting?
know.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
And so this one is a really, really good one to help us regulate ourselves.
And so before we're asking the question, like, okay, why do I feel like it's really important that I go tonight
or
to
not
this
go
thing or
tonight.
not go to this thing?
Why am I
for me-
turning this down?
Yeah.
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 Right?
Okay. But do
Because
this first. Yeah.
right, because if what you really want to do is swim your race and spend dinner with your good friends, then you might not have as much time.
What are you saying, April? It's true. It's true.
It is,
Yes,
right?
you're right.
And so the same for me. If what I want to do is maintain connections with friends,
Right.
I actually have to do that.
Yes.
And so it's what is my motivation? But if I'm not in a place where I'm regulated, where I've calmed my nervous system down, where I've gotten back into myself, then that question feels threatening. And the amygdala is going to say, going out with friends is going to stress you out. You don't need to do that. Right? Or if you don't go out with friends, you're going to feel like no one cares about you. Right? Or you're going to miss out.
Yeah.
Right? And so that regulate yourself. And then ask the question.
And see what comes up.
Yeah.
See what comes up.
And when you look at what comes up, that's just information.
Right.
Right?
It's not good or bad. It's just informing you of where you are.
And we've talked about this before. Sometimes it's about, let me make the decision and follow through what that would look like.
Right.
So I'm going to go. And what's the likely outcome?
That I'm going to stay out too late. I'm going to be tired in the morning. That's what happens to me if I think it through.
Yeah.
And I don't let myself do it because I'm like, I don't care. I'm impulsive. I want to do this. It'll be so much fun. I'll be fine. And then I'm never fine. The next, rarely, because I stay too long because it's so fun.
And you have one more drink, or you have one more song, or
or
one more dance, or one more conversation.
And then if I have to work the next day, like, I am not 25. I could pull that off before. I can't now.
You know, we really couldn't when we were 25. We just had better cover it up skills than we do at 55 or 57.
Okay, that's a whole other episode.
Yeah.
So. It's true. But if I really honestly take a look at, like, that's really smart, actually. And I don't let myself play it all out in my head. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm going, and this will be fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're right. It will be fun.
Sometimes it's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's the same for me. It's why I set up my conditions. Okay, this sounds good and I want to do it. These are the conditions. What do I need to do to make this happen?
Yeah.
So because I can isolate myself, and there are so many consequences from being disconnected from your support group, right? And when you're my age and you have lots of different communities of people,
right,
you do actually have to work to maintain those connections.
And it's all about balance and not extremes.
It is
trying to balance,
right?
And that balance lends itself to feeling safe. Yeah.
So if you had one thing to say to FOMO people, right? What is it that you would tell them? Missing out, what? Oh. How about missing out is an illusion?
This is a very interesting moment. Missing out needs to be redefined. I like that. Missing out needs to be redefined. That there can be a balance, and you can do a little bit less, and it still counts. You're still going to feel connected. It doesn't have to be every single time.
So you're safe on your own.
You're safe
with yourself.
Yes. And the connections can be formed in different ways. Yeah. That was a great question. Yeah. You must be a great therapist. All right. That was great. I very seldom am I stumped like that. Thank you for that question.
And then I would say for me, what I need to say to all of us who have joy in missing out, that we still need connection, and that finding your way to put connection in your life is equally as important as rest. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's been beautiful to watch you experience that lesson. It's been really
It's been
fun.
clunky.
It always is.
Yes.
It's always clunky.
It's always clunky. All right.
And I appreciate your patience with me, as you know that my FOMO is interfering with our connection sometimes.
Well,
Like, you understand me, you know what's going on. And sometimes you nudge me more than others, and I just appreciate that.
Well, and the same for you. You're like, come on, we got to go.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think, I mean, that's one of the privileges or benefits of having long-term friends
Yes.
is that
Yes.
I never feel disconnected from you. Sometimes I miss you, but I never feel disconnected
No,
from
and
you.
we know.
And that's the reality for FOMOs or JOMOs.
Mm-hmm.
Connections are connections,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have to be present every day
Yes.
to continue that.
Mm-hmm.
But you do always have to take care of yourself because nobody else is going to do it.
Yes, 100%. Okay, guys, so that was episode 9, and we just wanted a special segment. April requested a special segment just for my joke. Okay, so you.
All right, here we go.
Why was the tomato red? Because it saw the salad dressing.